Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round 3, the final round of our special Worlds Format League tournament, where Shrouded Fable was legal. That happened at Die Hard Games on August 15th, 2024. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format everyone wants. Stellar Crown pre-releases continue on Thursday, September 5th at 6 p.m. Go see more pre-release dates in this video's description. League Challenge, Thursday, September 12th at 6 p.m. and our second special Sun and Moon On format tournament, Thursday, September 19th at 6 p.m. All Central Time, all at Die Hard Games, and check out Pokemon's event locator for premiere and other events at the shop, such as League Challenges, League Cups, pre-releases, and more. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's research this game. On the left, Dragapult. On the right, Miraidon. Looks like our Dragapult player is going first. That is exactly what they want. They definitely want to get some Dreepy in play, but nothing to play from hand. Just a instant charge to draw up to 3 cards in hand. With that, thanks to that Rotom V and ending their turn. Now Miraidon is going second. I believe Miraidon did win the flip and chose to go second, so now is a perfect time for Miraidon to get lucky and pounce. Looks like they're going to start things off with a Nest Ball over on the right. That item card allows the player to search their deck for a basic Pokemon to put onto their bench. And most likely the basic Pokemon is that Miraidon. Looks like they're also debating on just going all in here with this Ultra Ball as well, discarding a Boss's Orders and a Lightning Energy. So I'm going to do 2 cards at the same time, resolve 2 cards at the same time, and hopefully shortcut some things and save on some time. Miraidon will be the target of the Nest Ball here. And I bet the Ultra Ball is for Squawkabilly, since Miraidon does have that Tandem Unit ability that allows the player to search their deck for up to 2 basic Lightning Pokemon to add to their bench. It's very good to set up the board and also thin cards out of the deck, so that way all that's in there is good stuff. Lightning Energy in this Miraidon deck's case to be hit with those electric generators, but we'll get to them as we can. I think our Miraidon player is having to shift gears and adjust here because they realize that the only Squawkabilly they played is prized. Just gotta play 2, right? Miraidon now will use its Tandem Unit ability in order to search the deck for 2 basic Lightning Pokemon to add to the bench. We're not getting all of these. These are just target considerations, of course. And of course that Ultra Ball was not played earlier. Just going to go for the Nest Ball. And I think that Ultra Ball not being played was a result of discovering that the lone Squawkabilly is chilling in the prize cards for this game. Looks like we're debating on grabbing a Raikou and a Raichu V with the Tandem Unit here. Raichu V could be useful in the later game to take down a Dragapult. That's the only, that's literally the only way to one-shot a Dragapult here. Looks like the Ultra Ball will still ultimately be played to try to go all in on this KO on the Rotom V, I think is what the Miraidon player is going for here. Iron Hands EX, Heavy Boy in the active spot, does make things a little bit difficult as a Heavy Baton is put onto that. Iron Hands EX. Mew EX was found with the Ultra Ball and put onto the bench there. And now we're deciding what to do this turn. I think I saw a Forest Seal Stone in hand, or at least an Arvin as a way to get it. So I think the best thing to happen here would be energy attached to Miraidon, find an electric generator, hit 2 lightning off the electric generator, fully powering up Miraidon's Photon Blaster attack for 220 damage. Then use the Forest Seal Stone to find that Prime Catcher to bring up that Rotom V, bring up the Miraidon, and take the KO. Our Miraidon player is just mapping it out here, seeing if all the moves are possible with cards in hand, Lightning Energy and Arvin in hand, so an Electric Generator and Forest Seal Stone can be found here. Cards can be drawn with the Mew EX here, of course. I'm sure a Squawkabilly EX would be a lot better support Pokemon in this particular instance than that Mew EX. But we gotta work with what we got. We gotta get lucky to win the tournament. Let's just go all in and go for it. Looks like we might have a pause here with our players, maybe bathroom break or something going on. Either way, Mew, our energy, excuse me, will be attached to the bench Miraidon EX, leaving only the Arvin in hand. Mew will use Restart to draw up 3 cards in hand. Looks like a Radiant Greninja and maybe another unplayable card are in hand. That's good to thin them out of the deck and just have all lightning energy in there in order to hit off of this electric generator, which Arvin's going to find. Arvin is a supporter card that allows the player to search their deck for a tool and a item card. The tool, of course, is that Forest Seal Stone that, when attached to Pokemon V, will give it the V-Star power ability Star Alchemy to search the deck for any card. And then the electric generator, of course, here is the item. Electric generator will be played now to look at the top 5 cards of the deck and attach up to 2 lightning energy found there to bench lightning Pokemon. Only 1 lightning energy found. Oh no. Potentially the Mew EX could have been saved for post the electric generator, but just did not get lucky here. We can't get lucky every single time, right? Forest Seal Stone put onto that bench Raichu V. You could grab another electric generator here. I was thinking about, would Raikou V be able to KO the opposing Rotom, but 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, no. Raikou V was not. That Pokemon can attack for 2 energy, but it wasn't getting the KO on the Rotom, and I think you'd rather take the 2 prize cards over KOing Duskull, but maybe the Duskull could have been KO'd here to not let what's going to potentially happen in the future happen. So then the 2 energy could have been on the Raikou V right here, and then Forest Seal Stone could have found something like the switch cart to move that Iron Hands out of the active spot. But either way, it looks like a pass here for our Miraidon player. They just needed to hit the 2 energy off of the electric generator, right? Arvin is now being played over on the left side here to search their deck for a tool and a item card. The Forest Seal Stone, as a side note, I think was put on the Raichu V as kind of some Iono insurance. These Dragapult decks do sometimes play a heavier count of cards like Iono disruption cards. So the stone was preemptively put on there as a insurance, but as you seen the quick flash in the hand, that Lost Vacuum is hiding in the opponent's hand. Arvin found a Buddy Buddy Poffin and a Forest Seal Stone of their own. Buddy Buddy Poffin is being resolved now after the stone was attached to the Rotom V. Buddy Poffin finds a pair of Dreepies. They are here. They are in play now. They're ready to get going. Lots of cards in hand. For our Dragapult player here. No Dragapult can be made this turn since both Dreepy have hit the bench already. Looks like we're done searching the deck here. I wonder if there was an Iono in the Dragapult's player hand. Let's see. I can't tell, but a Fire Energy is attached to one of the bench Dreepy. I don't think I see Iono. Nope. So that Forest Seal Stone could have been held as Lost Vacuum is being played now to send the cards to the Lost Zone in order to send a Tool or Stadium card in play into the Lost Zone. Of course, that Raichu V's Lost Zone, or Stone was targeted and sent to the Lost Zone. So sad. Dusticlops evolving in the active spot with its powerful Curse Blast ability. Probably no need to play it right now, as things are just passed back over to Miraidon. That Forest Seal Stone would be so nice right about now, huh? I think it's Arvin, Radiant Greninja, and another trainer card in hand. This rescue board in hand. Okay, attached to the bench Miraidon. Now is a Mew restart for a card. The body language, I think, is just another Arvin. So double Arvin and Radiant Greninja in hand. Nothing really playable. Arvin can find that Bravery Charm. No real other tool to grab. Only one Forest Seal Stone in this version of the deck, sadly. So maybe overall the Forest Seal Stone should have been held for the next turn since it wasn't going to be used that turn. But, you know, fair enough to put it down for some hand disruption insurance. Also, though, that could have been held in hand to force an Iono since the hand wasn't very strong anyways. Lots of different paths here in the Pokemon trading card game as Arvin finds that Bravery Charm and Electric Generator. So I guess we just build up our board for the next turn. Electric Generator played. Let's look at the top 5 and attach any lightning energy found there. 0 lightning energy found there. Couldn't even hit 1 lightning that second time after this scary looking situation now. Nothing really else to do. Restart was used already on that Mew. The Forest Seal Stone would have unlocked lots here potentially, but there was just a miss off of that Electric Generator anyway, so pass back over to our Dragapult player who can start unleashing the fury now. As an Arvin is played to search the deck for a tool and an item. That rare candy being eyed up here. What will be the tool grab? The Forest Seal Stone's already in play, so maybe really just don't need the tool. The rare candy was all and enough to make things happen here. Okay. The Neo Upper Energy is in hand and attached to a bench Dreepy. A Dracloak evolves. One of the Dreepy evolves into Dracloak on the bench as the Forest Seal Stone is used now. Forest Seal Stone gives the Pokemon V it's attached to. The V-Star Power Star Alchemy. When that V-Star marker's flipped, search your deck for a card, any card. You don't have to reveal it, but our player is going to play this down as their next move. Rare Candy, evolve that Neo Upper Energied Dreepy into Dragapult. The combo is here now. Dustaclops has a Curse Blast ability. Once during your turn, you may put 5 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. If you use this ability, this Pokemon's knocked out. 5 damage counters go on to the active Iron Hands. Our Miraidon player needs to take a prize card here. We'll see if our players catch it. And what was that next? Oh, we're using Dracloak's Recon Directive ability. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put one into your hand and one at the bottom of the deck. I wonder, yeah, the Dracloak's, or excuse me, the Dustaclops 5 damage counters could have been placed somewhere else, because when you use the Dustaclops, it KOs itself, which means the opponent should take a prize card. With the opponent taking a prize card and being ahead on prizes, then that, I believe there was a, what is it called? The band Defiance Band in hand. That's only live, plus 30 damage to your opponent's Pokemon when your opponent's ahead on prize cards. So that 5 damage counters could have been put somewhere else, unless our Dragapult players, it's all part of the strategy and they want to save it for the future. Either way, the KO is taken on that Iron Hands EX. Dragapult's attack does 200 damage to the active, and you may place 6 damage counters on the bench Pokemon in any way you like. So that was enough to take the KO on the cursed Iron Hands EX. 6 damage counters on the bench Miraidon. It looks like Mew with free retreat pushed into the active spot, and play resumes over on Miraidon's side. Can they do anything? Missed opportunities turn 1 and turn 2. Let's see if we could take a KO this turn. KO on Pidgey. KO on Rotom. Could be good. I think the KO on the Rotom is probably the most desired deal in order to keep up in the prize race. Of course, one prize needs to be taken because of the KO on that Dustaclops. Our players still have not caught it. The Neo Upper Energy, I guess we could talk about that, especially since it's being flashed now. That provides basically 2 Rainbow Energy, 2 energy of any color, any kind, to the Stage 2 Pokemon that it's attached to. So that's nicely providing the attack cost on that Dragapult. Radiant Greninja put onto the bench. Then it looks like actually Miraidon with the rescue board was put into the active spot. Oh no, we had a switch cart, right? A switch cart moves Miraidon to the active spot. It's got free retreat, of course, thanks to the rescue board. Rescue board gives the Pokemon it's attached to 1 colorless less to their retreat cost. Miraidon only has 1 colorless retreat cost. Lost Vacuum will be played to send already spent Forest Seal Stone to the Lost Zone, just in the hand for Mew's restart. 3 cards off a restart, anything playable. Okay, yeah, that's what happened earlier. The switch cart was played to move the Miraidon into the active spot, right? So thin the hand down for this huge restart here, potential huge restart. Doesn't look like anything was found, though, with body language and pace of play here, because if not, you just slam it down, right? Well, we found an electric generator. That's good. And another one. Can we hit him this time? We need at least one. Okay, we got the 2 now. Can we take the KO with the Raichu, potentially? Raichu's attack for 2 energy does 60 times the amount of lightning energy you discard from your side of the field. So 6, I think the full 6 need to be found here in order for Raichu to take a KO on the 230 HP Dragapult. 6 times 5, 30, not enough. 6 times 6, 36, 360, enough to KO the 320 Dragapult. So we got 4 energy on board here. We need the next electric generator to hit. I'm not sure if there's any lightning energy in hand or not. Usually the hand is full of lightning energy. As this second electric generator is played, to look at the top 5 and find 2 lightning energy. Nope, just the 1, of course. The luck has run out here in this round 3 for our Miraidon player. Round 1, I think, for the player was quick and easy, as well as round 2 was a donk. But the brakes get slammed on here in the round 3, the more grindy game here. Yeah, it looks like our Miraidon player did finally take the prize card as well off of the Dustaclops, so that's good. Maybe that could have been useful on another turn. I'm not keeping track. Either way, the Miraidon free retreats thanks to the skateboard into the powered up Miraidon with the Bravery Charm. That Miraidon, in theory, sticking around for a while, especially since the Lost Vacuum was used already. And Photon Blaster, 220 damage onto this Dragapult. They have to put pressure on somehow. Boss's orders are Prime Catcher into the Rotom V would have been nice, of course, but our Dragapult player starts things off with a Recon Directive. Look at the top 2. Put 1 card at the bottom, put the other in hand, thanks to that Dracloak ability on the bench there. Let's see the options first before we, or what our options are first before we play cards from hand. As a Psychic Energy is attached to the bench Dracloak, powering up a future Miraidon's Phantom Dive. Ultra Ball is now played to discard 2 cards from the hand to search the deck for a Dragapult EX. Yep, we're evolving into another Dragapult EX and maybe even attacking with the fresh one this turn. That would be very good for our Dragapult player. Dracloak evolves into Dragapult EX. Nest Ball is played now to search the deck for a basic Pokemon to add to the bench. That Pheasantipity EX is eyed up here. Shrouded Fable all up in this Dragapult deck tonight. I don't think the Miraidon deck has a single Shrouded Fable card in it. But it definitely did after tonight. It has a Dreepy is being eyed up with this Nest Ball. I don't think you really need another Dragapult this game. And probably grabs that Pheasantipity with the Nest Ball for next turn. If the opponent takes a KO on the next turn, they can draw 3 cards with the Flip the Script, but it is also a 2 prize liability, so looks like our player is finally going to decide on the Dreepy. Alright, Pheasantipity EX, final answer, right? Will be established. It is a 2 prize liability, but you already had one down anyways with the Rotom V. Dragapult EX already is close to a knockout as well. It's about to give up 2 prize cards, so you can get 1 more out and thin the deck out as well. Thin the hand down of that Ultra Ball. Defiance Band attached to the bench. Dragapult EX. Nope, not yet. We're gonna save that surprise, right? Okay, we're attacking. There's 6 damage, I think, on the Miraidon in the active. So it will survive with 10 HP that Phantom Dive. Of course, Dragapult EX's attack Phantom Dive does 200 damage to the active, and then you may spread 6 damage counters to the bench, place 6 damage counters however you like. Looks like we're going to spread them out on the bench Pokemon V and EX to bring it in that 200 range. I won't go through the trouble of trying to calculate it as Miraidon's turn starts now. 4 prize cards to 5 prize cards in this mid-game here. Still not the end of the world for the Miraidon player, but missing on those first 2 turns definitely is taking its toll, as our Dragapult player's board is looking very strong and threatening here. Now, Miraidon EX, of course, has to move to the bench and then back to the active spot in order to use its Photon Blaster attack. Again, it can't use it in consecutive turns without doing that. It cannot use Photon Blaster the next turn, has the effect of Photon Blaster. But that effect goes away if it moves to the bench and then back to the active spot. So something like Switch Cart would be nice here. Mew EX draws 1 card with its restart ability. Completely unplayable hand. Okay. Yeah, this just does not look good. What would be the best move? Push a 1 prizer into the active spot. Miraidon can retreat this turn, but it's got 10 HP left, so a Dragapult is cleaning up the KO on it the next turn. Not even electric energy, lightning energy in hand. Alright, we're going to try and get lucky with Fleet-Footed. Arven. Okay. That's something. Switch Cart maybe could heal some of this damage, but I think the damage is caked on. Let's see, 2 damage counters on this bench Miraidon EX. Looks like there's 4 maybe on this Raikou. I can't tell on the Raichu. But these are the options for the Arven here. Nothing good. Yeah, the energy's too spread out, so nothing can attack this turn unless there was a lightning energy in hand that would unlock some things. But with this Arven especially, a electric generator could have maybe been found and more energy accelerated, if there even are any more in deck. I haven't been counting here. But then there's no way to get the active out of the active spot with the hand for what it is. So it looks like we're going for a desperation Prime Catcher here. That Aspect allows the player to bring one of their opponent's Pokemon on the bench into the active spot, and then they do the same. It looks like the Prime Catcher and the Bravery Charm were found off of the Arven. Probably doesn't make too much of a difference, but thin the deck out, give Pokemon more HP is good. But has our Dragapult player already established the checkmate on the board? The Radiant Greninja moves into the active spot, of course, from the Prime Catcher, as it's a 1 prizer. Yeah, the Bravery Charm put on the bench Raikou V, and things are passed over to our Dragapult player, who has the basic Psychic Energy in that 3-card hand attached to the active Rotom V, so now it can retreat. And I think you push the fresh Dragapult EX into the active spot here. Only 2 cards in hand, but it looks like the damaged one is actually going to go up. Maybe wanting our Miraidon player to take some more prize cards to trigger some of the counter cards in the deck, or just get full value off of this damaged Dragapult EX. But I'd kind of like the idea of pushing up the fresh one. Alright, Phantom Dive will take the KO on the active Radiant Greninja. 1 damage counter put onto that heavily damaged Miraidon EX on the bench. and then 5 more to spread out on the bench here. Of course, how you spread them out is very important and strategic. I'm just not keeping track because it's too hard to see the die. Hopefully there's a mental note made now to bring some white dice with big, nice pips to record with for the future. Free retreat Mew EX moved into the active spot. Player resumes over on its side. How can our Miraidon player pick up speed and come back into this game after the opponent just took a 3 prize turn with 1 card remaining, 1 prize card remaining? Yep. And it may start with that big Blood Moon Ursaluna that's put into play. Blood Moon Ursaluna has an ability that's very similar to Charizard EX, or Charizard, Radiant Charizards, excuse me. And I will let you guys know what that is in just a second. Season Skill. I remembered that ability name. Blood Moon. Or excuse me, this Pokemon, basically, Blood Moon, it has the Blood Moon attack. And then the ability, Season Skill, says Blood Moon used by this Pokemon cost a colorless less for each prize card your opponent has taken. The Blood Moon attack costs 5 colorless energy, and it does 240 damage. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. So, since the opponent only has 1 prize card remaining, Blood Moon can be used for free. So that's why that Blood Moon Ursaluna is instantly slammed to the bench there. Lightning energy attached to the Raichu V, as that's the biggest potential threat here on Miraidon's side. Nest Ball will be played now to search the deck for a basic Pokemon. That Zapdos, just to thin out of the deck. Zapdos has the Lightning Symbol ability that boosts attack damage by 10, but that's actually not going to get grabbed in favor for the more HP on the Miraidon, and just thinning that deck out again for a restart, drawing up to 3 cards in hand, thanks to the Mew EX. Lightning energy finally found here. 1 was already attached per turn. So an Arven will be played. There already is a KO on board with the Blood Moon Ursaluna, so the Arven would just be played for setting up for the next turn, mostly. Thinning the deck out of a switch cart. That's handy to have with the Blood Moon Ursaluna attack. Because then I think we'd just be looking for boss's orders as well as that switch cart. Blood Moon Ursaluna EX's Blood Moon attack says during your next turn this Pokemon can't attack. So remember how we talked about it can be reset with something like a switch cart. Mew EX retreats into that Blood Moon Ursaluna EX, who attacks for free thanks to Season Skill. 240 damage, more than enough to pick up the KO on the opposing Dragapult EX. The replacement Dragapult EX, there to avenge its fallen sibling, flies into the active spot, floats into the active spot, and play resumes over on its side as a Dreepy is put onto the bench. Now I wonder if there are enough damage counters on the bench big basics to take a KO. I don't think so, but a Earthen Vessel will be played to finally discard that Defiance Band in order to search the deck for 2 basic energy. Split the difference here on 1 Psychic and 1 Fire to be found. That Pheasantipity EX Flip the Script is live since a KO was taken. Psychic energy put onto the bench Dreepy. Oh, that Alakazam EX with the Painful Spoons ability is put onto the bench. And that's super scary in this situation with all these damage counters out. Now we're thinking about using a Pheasantipity EX. Flip the script. Yep, since there was a KO last turn, flip the script, draw 3 cards. That Radiant Alakazam's Painful Spoons ability allows the player to move 3 damage counters from one of the opponent's Pokemon to another of their Pokemon. it'd be awesome if we had an exact count of how many damage counters were on these Pokemon on the bench, because this is Dragapult's thing. It's taking all these prize cards at once. Even though, of course, in this situation, they've just got one more to take. Blood Moon Ursaluna EX in the active is threatening, 260 HP. But it's got to move out of the active spot and back in to attack. And the Miraidon player has 3 prize cards left to take. So a Kieran will be played. That's a supporter that has a couple effects, and you get to pick and choose which one. One of them is a switch, and the other one is during this turn your Pokemon do 30 more damage. Their attacks do 30 more damage. So 230 damage thanks to Kieran onto the active Blood Moon, and then 6 damage counters still piling up on those big basics on the bench on Miraidon's side. Looks like things may be paused here, or the final endgame calculations being crunched. Okay, there we go. We resolved it. Yeah, there's 2 die now on that dice, on that Raikou on the bench, so I'm sure that one's ready to go with one more attack next turn, one more damage counter spread. So there we go, 230 to the active. Thanks to Kieran, damage spread onto the bench, and play resumes over on Miraidon's side. What a grindy game. Shout out to you guys if you're still here, if you made it through to see how this game will conclude. Let me know if you're still here in the comments. Lightning Energy in the Miraidon player's hand. I really didn't see what else was there. Raikou's doing lots of damage, full damage, 220, but it's got so many damage counters on it. But we'll still put it on the Raikou. Switch cart now will heal 30 damage off of that Blood Moon Ursaluna and move the Raichu into the active spot. It's got a Bravery Charm on it and just 1 die. I just wish I knew how much damage was on that Raichu. I guess that might be the only thing to survive, but Blood Moon Ursaluna has 200 HP on it. It does have 260, so I think just a Dragapult attack will take it out the next turn. Unless this Raichu can take the one-shot here. Nope, it's just going to be a boss's orders on something that it can take the one-shot on, that Fezandipiti EX. Raichu is going to do everything it can to try to be the very best, to go out swinging. Discards all that energy in play to take the KO on the Fezandipiti EX. 1 prize card remaining. Who's going to get it first, though? There it is. The Dragapult EX, of course, probably knocks out the Raichu V in the active. Puts 6 damage counters on the 200 HP Blood Moon Ursaluna EX on the bench to bring it up to 260, taking the KO. 4 prize cards taken here when only 1 needed to be. What a game we had here. Good games to all the opponents to these days. The top 4 for this special event was, in first place, our Charizard player that was featured in another video from this tournament. Second place was our Dragapult player. They actually they tied for first. They both got the same match points and all the same opponents win percentage, blah blah blah, tiebreakers. So both in first place, our Charizard player and our Dragapult player here. Third place was our Miraidon player, and fourth place was our Chien-Pao Baxcalibur player, featured in another video from this tournament as well. Congrats to our league tournament champs, and to all of you for playing some Pokemon. Thank you. What'd you think of this video in the commentary? Please leave feedback in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.